bow self-defense. Grab your long martial arts staff. You're gonna warm up by turning it over and back in one hand first. You need to get the blood to flow to the joints to stay safe from injury during this workout. You're gonna be striking either in the air or on a stack of tires, a bag, against an opponent, a practice partner. However you do it, you need to have strong hands and wrists, and you need to be properly prepared so you don't hurt yourself. So just go back and forth for about 30 seconds. This is my right hand. Doesn't matter which hand you start with. Put it in the other one and warm up properly with the other hand. Just back and forth. You're gonna do this for 30 seconds. Good morning, Peter. It's good to see Peter from Germany. After a while, you're gonna bring it from one hand out, turning it to the other hand. Who else is here this morning? I just saw Peter from Germany. It's almost noontime here. Different times all over the world. That's what I love about this global virtual dojo. We're all in different time zones. But we all train together, side to side, pushing back and forth. Barbecue time in Germany, Peter says. It's barbecue time. I love it. Back and forth, hand to hand. You're now starting to increase the range of motion, flexibility, mobility, and strength in your wrists. Buddy Dempsey says, good morning from Virginia, or West Virginia. Where in West Virginia? My father's family comes from West Virginia. Spent a lot of time in West Virginia as a kid, grew up in Ohio, passed through West Virginia all the time. I'd go to West Virginia, used to ski at Snowshoe all the time. Good morning, Wyoming, Mountain Daylight Time. Good, so you're just an hour behind us. Now, if you do this for an hour, this is all about strengthening your grip, preparing your hands, being strong when we start to strike. We're gonna get into the strikes right away. And I wanna talk about the very first thing you're gonna do when you're learning how to defend yourself with a bow. Strati Mustaqim says, good evening from Pakistan. Hello, Pakistan. It's good to have you with us training today in the virtual dojo. Satin One, good morning from Jacksonville, Florida, just up the coast. I'm down here in South Sunny. It's very sunny today. We're gonna get out to the beach later. Sunny South Florida. You're up in Jacksonville. I'm gonna stand behind my bow. When you fight with a long martial arts staff, see where else we have? Swiss on the Gauley River, beautiful. And Gauley River, if you ever done the whitewater rafting, good morning. It's beautiful to be in West Virginia on the Gauley River, especially right now, this time of year, spring, everything's turning green, all the birds are chirping, all the babies are running around everywhere, every duck has hatchlings, it's just a beautiful time. Self-defense with the bow, stand behind it, doesn't matter which hand because this is an ambidextrous weapon, doesn't matter which hand you are, you're gonna learn how to fight with both sides evenly. Stand behind it, you're gonna point your thumb. When you point your thumb, that puts it right into the, right in the middle of the target, right in the middle of the opponent, the person who's coming after you. You said, finally get to see a live class. Thank you for being here in the live class. You're gonna point this right at them, and then I want you to do this first motion, which is gonna be a thrust. Now we do this with the shorter staff. We do this with a lot of different weapons because the closest, the quickest way to get to the opponent, to make them stop, to keep them off of you, you don't know if they've got a knife or something else. This is bow staff self-defense. Bow self-defense, the fastest way to stop the attacker is a straight line attack, immediate, direct, explosive. So here you're standing behind it, you're gonna point and you're gonna thrust, and then I want you to immediately switch hands, step back with that other foot, point the thumb, pointing the thumb puts it in the back hand from here to here, and then I want you to thrust. From here, switch feet, practice thrusting, switch feet, thrusting. Now you're gonna go slow at first, get a good range of motion, get a good feel for what's happening in your body. Notice that I'm locking the front elbow. My back arm is starting to turn up to lock the back hand in place. The front hand is starting to turn over. Do that slowly at first, and then once you warm up, start to go with more speed, power, more stopping power. This is bow staff self-defense. When you're learning bow skills, when you're training with the bow staff for beginners, but you want to get right into bow self-defense, you have to immediately start to train in a way that stops the opponent, stops the attacker, stops the enemy. From here, nice and easy at first, switch feet, nice and easy. I'm just showing you from the side. But then after 2 or 3, the blood is starting to flow, your muscles are coming alive. They're starting to force you to breathe hard, go harder, faster, strike with more intensity. And then once you've done it in the air for about 30 seconds or a minute with both sides thrown in like that, if you have a target to strike, you can use a stack of tires, a pole, wrap a tree with something to protect the tree, don't destroy the tree. Or if you have some of these bags that you can strike, look at it first, aim the thumb, point that thumb just right at the center of that bag and thrust. With both hands on your staff, on your bow, you're gonna be very powerful, very strong. So this first self-defense technique, bow self-defense, stand behind it, thrust. Stand behind it, thrust. For self-defense, you're thinking of targets like eyes, nose, teeth, throat, solar plexus, groin, all in a straight line. That's the very first one. Now we're gonna talk about spinning the bow staff as a way to build strength, endurance, condition the body, the same way as a boxer, you would start to jump rope or skip rope, practicing the basics of the footwork, but it's not about using the spin for self-defense. I do want you to spin. You're gonna spin right now with two hands on the bow. We're gonna hold the bow staff always one of two ways. It's impossible to hold it. There are three ways really. With one hand, with two hands facing the same direction, and with two hands facing opposite directions. We're gonna hold it this way, and we're going to strike mostly for self-defense in the most effective, powerful way. All your thrusts are going to be mostly in this position. Now, can you use this position to strike both palms facing you or both palms facing out and thrust? Absolutely. Is it as strong? It's not as strong. This is always going to be your stronger choice for self-defense, especially with the thrust and especially with the strikes we're going to do next. But let's talk about spinning with two hands like this so that you can get the heart rate up, so you can lean out the body, so that you can build power in the grip, so that you can learn how to use this weapon a little bit more effectively, but not spinning to fight, spinning to get ready to fight. Like the boxer's gonna jump rope, boxer's gonna hit all these bags, he's gonna hit that speed bag, or she's gonna hit the speed bag, then they're gonna go into the ring. There's no more speed bag, there's no jump rope in the ring. It's you against the other person. You're gonna use this, right? You're not using any other stuff, but in training, this is your training. Right now we're training. In training, you're gonna spin like this, around the body, and like this. Now you can think of it as a strike, and really two strikes. 1, 2, clear in front of your body. 1, 2. 1, 2. Watch me from the side. My palms are facing out. We're gonna spin the bow with two hands in two different positions. We're doing this so that you get better at self-defense. When you use the bow for self-defense, palms like this. This is my left hand. It's on the left side, palm facing out, right hand facing the same direction. I'm going to strike down in front of my body, and then I'm gonna clear. Imagine they're attacking your legs, where they're trying to stab you. You're gonna knock it out of the way, and then you're gonna pull that bottom hand out, and you're gonna change hand positions. Now this is my right hand on the right side. Strike down, block across the body. Now right hand is up here. I switch positions. Left hand is up. Down, down. As long as you do not take your hands, here's what almost everybody does at the beginning. They start to get here and then they try to do one of these things, changing their hand position to figure it out. Don't take your hands off. Once they're here, glue them in place. Take a staple gun, like that. Imagine, use your imagination. Don't let your hands come off. From here, and don't open your hands. Don't do one of these. That's too easy. Build flexibility, strength, power in that grip by keeping your hands on the bow while you spin, not to fight, but spin to get better at fighting. Coming down and across the body. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. If you want to switch it to Silam Bomb, the Indian style, Put your hands closer together, and then bring them back out. Hands closer together, and then hands back out. Now, to spin it with two hands in the reverse, start with the hands together. It's not gonna have as many moves. From here, just to here. See how I do really small moves? I'm gonna show you from the side. One hand's on top. Does it matter which one? It does not. One hand on top, palms facing, same direction or opposite directions, however you want to think about it. Put it down and down. When your hands come together, you have a nice pivot point. So it's going to spin very quickly for you. Turn your shoulders, turn your hips, stomach up and in. Breathe through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's go back to self-defense because spins, like I said, spins, you want to spin. You have to spin. You don't have to, but spinning is going to make you much better at using bow staff self-defense. We're learning bow staff self-defense. When you learn all of these different techniques and all the things you can do behind the back, over the head, changing positions, that's all going to get your heart rate up. That's going to make you better at timing and distance, spatial awareness. But you're not going to spin. Somebody comes up to hit you, stab you, punch you, beat you. There's multiple attackers. You're going to stand like a guard, like a sentry, like a sentry, like your guard, like your own personal protection detail. You're going to be here in the back hand or in the front hand. And then you're going to be here. And then you're going to strike and strike and strike and come down. Forcefully, full speed, full power. You're not going to spin. Let's talk about the second strike. I'm going to put it in the back hand. One foot's in front of the other one. From here, I'm going to bring it up. From here, bringing it up. Now we did this with the Jo, the Japanese Jo, the shorter martial arts staff. When you learn how to train with the bow staff for beginners, bow staff training for beginners, if you're working on bow staff self-defense, you want to know how to defend yourself with it in front of your body. There's the threat. In front of my body, point the thumb. Or in the back hand, behind my body. I have no protection. The threat's still there. Now I'm protected. Now I've got the stick between me and the threat. So what you're going to do is with the back hand, lift it to your ear. And see how my elbow is mostly in? I'm not out here like a chicken wing. From here to here, here to here. Now from here, this is the second kind of thrust. We did this thrust. The second kind of thrust is going to come from the backside and in. It's extremely powerful for self-defense. If we move this back a little bit, we go back to this target. I bring it here. I can move the bag with more force. You're going to be able to strike with more force. And what are the targets you're going to hit for self-defense? When you're learning bow self-defense, you're going to go for eyes, nose, teeth, throat. And the idea is you have to remove or destroy their ability to see you, their ability to breathe temporarily through their nose and mouth, permanently for self-defense through their throat, their ability to stand up, to breathe through the solar plexus, or stand up, that thin layer of muscle. When that gets torn and you're going to tear it with that motion, that's going to put them on the ground. Either it goes into a spasm or they get a hernia, or even lower, into the private points, or into the leg, or maybe it's a vicious dog. They're coming trying to bite you. Stick this in its mouth, let them fight with that instead of fighting with you. But from this position in the back hand, I'm going to lift it to here, right to the side of my head, and then I thrust. Side of the head, I can go any height that I want. But we're using that same principle from before. Immediate direct explosive means the shortest distance between me and you is that straight line. You've heard it over and over again. From here to here, you can come through here, come through here. We're going to do all that, right? All those strikes. But I want to start with thrusts. That's fastest. That's quickest. And I'm going to try to hit here or here or here. Hopefully, you don't know if he's got a knife or not. This is self-defense. This is bow staff self-defense. Bow staff training for beginners. Bow staff self-defense. You're going to use principles of self-defense, which says if you can knock him out, put him to sleep for self-defense. Do it. It's fast as possible. Don't go for a 10-minute fight where you're trying to do different techniques and block them and strike and strip and trip. Just bam, one strike, that's it, right? If you can, make it last as short as possible. One and done. From here, and if not, boom, then there you have those other strikes that you're gonna be able to do very powerfully, more effectively. Let's talk about another spin to develop proprioception. That's how it feels. Also to talk about developing spatial awareness and timing and distance. Spatial awareness, timing and distance. In a fight, when you learn how to defend yourself, knowing or having a natural ability to have better timing and distance than the other person, that means being in the right spot at the right time will make you more effective. They can be younger, faster, stronger, doesn't matter. They can have better experience, they can be more powerful. If you have better timing and distance, you'll win almost every single time. So we're gonna build timing and distance. Starting in this hand, I want you to work on a wrist roll going from one side to the other side. So you're gonna just open the hand, bring it around each way, just from side to side. And all this is, when I turn my thumb up and I open the hand, I let it come to a balance point on the back of the wrist. Then I'm gonna turn pinky side out, grab it, finish that motion, and then let it go back exactly opposite direction. Now, if you go slowly at first, you're gonna get this very quickly. What usually happens is you'll do one of those where your hand starts to freak out because you're afraid you're gonna lose your bow, and that's gonna happen. Next time I have to throw it less far away, right? But if you can breathe, remember you have to learn how, in self-defense, learn how to calm down, don't slow down. Sometimes you can't slow down. They're coming full speed, you've gotta react, respond as quickly as possible. But if your heart is racing, you're frozen, you get hit. So you need to learn how to calm your mind, calm your body so you can be quick and light and fast. We're gonna do that with breathing. So here, as you open the hand, use this as a drill, as an opportunity to build self-control, discipline, self-discipline in the body and the mind, that body-mind connection, slowly over one side, and then the other one. Learn how to calm down, don't slow down. And then in the other one, this is also, as you start to speed it up, you're gonna create that kinetic energy in there, you're gonna get the momentum going, and then bring it to a stop and throw it back the other way or push it back the other way. All that's building power in your grip, flexibility, strength, endurance, and mobility. Those are the 4 things you need to age well, to have health and wellness. You wanna be physically fit inside and out, you need four things in your body. You need flexibility, you need strength, you need mobility, that's how you move, right? Ability to move, range of motion, and you need endurance to win the fight. Fight's not over till you win. If it goes for a while, you need to be able to last for a while. Side to side, over and over, and then put the hands like this, palms out, just like you're fighting. And we're gonna talk about what, you're here in this position, and you're fighting, but then this hand's in front, so you wanna have this hand in position. There are 2 ways to get there. Remember, it's an ambidextrous weapon. When you're learning bow staff self-defense, you want to be able to change hand position without taking your hand off of it. And the way you're going to do this, the first way I'm going to show you, is just walk your hands. We're walking the bow from here, 1, 2. And it's a good idea when this comes forward, put that foot forward, put this foot forward. That's my left hand, left foot forward, right foot. And in making bow self-defense, when you use bow staff for self-defense, you have to make yourself a smaller target. I'm a big, wide person. I'm easy to hit. These are all my vital spots. Remember, I want to go into their center. They want to come into my center, especially if they've got that knife. What I want to do is make myself a smaller target. I want to put the stick between me and you. So I've got to take a step back or take a step forward, but turn your body to the side. Then, when you come forward, you have the other hand in the front. So practice this, and step with one, step with the other one. Step with one foot, step with the other. And I know you're not watching my feet, but you don't really have to see what my feet are doing. Remember, on stance work or footwork, put your feet under your body, you're doing it right. Number 2, don't get really wide. Keep a natural walking position. Number 3, when the left side's forward, or left hand is forward, put the left foot forward. When the right foot's forward, put the right hand forward, and vice versa, right? Left hand, left foot. Right hand, right foot. Practice this 30 seconds at a time, and then let's get fancy. From here, palm up, palm down. You're gonna roll it, and watch how my hands stay either in contact with the staff or with each other. Staff, staff, staff. Then they're touching each other. I'm sliding on the back of this hand. Well, I forgot to turn it. Palm there. I'm gonna roll along my wrist. Touching, touching, touching. At no time are my hands out here in space. I don't want to practice that way. I want you to practice this way, rolling and sliding your hands from one side to the other one. 1, 2, 1, over and over again. Faster and faster will build more strength, more speed, more balance, more coordination in your hands. Do this for 30 seconds, break a good sweat, get the heart rate up. Let's talk about striking for self-defense with the bow. Now we're gonna build a combination. I'm gonna put some of these together for you, and this is where we're gonna finish. But stay tuned after this. I wanna show you one more thing that you can do. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Like, dislike, leave me comments, whatever you wanna do. Share this with others, that's how we grow. Thank you to those who have joined this virtual community. There's a join button down below. There's that subscribe button on the side. From here, I'm gonna get in this position, and I'm gonna thrust, and then I'm gonna bring it to my shoulder, and I'm gonna strike at an angle. The way it looks like from me to you, thrust from the shoulder down. That's 2 strikes in combination. This is a thrusting motion, and then this is a diagonal strike. Now after the strike, add the 3rd strike by coming through that backhand, punching straight in. Is gonna push the staff across their jaw, break the jaw, take the eyes out for self-defense, box the ears they can't hear, hit that neck, knock them unconscious if you can, end the fight as soon as possible. From here, I'm going to, good morning, or good afternoon, Wilson. We started in the morning, now it's afternoon almost. Wilson, it's good to see you. From here, I'm gonna thrust down at this angle, coming across, and then I want you to do a downward vertical strike. So let's put these all together. You're building your combat bow or bow staff training, bow staff self-defense, right? Bow staff self-defense striking combinations with a thrust, downward angular strike, coming across that horizontal strike down here. And then I want you to walk your hands. Put this other foot in the front, stomp it on the floor. Remember, you're gonna become your own, like a sentinel. You're gonna become that sentinel, that guardian of your family, your peace, your protection. You're in charge. You're gonna be your own first responder, right? So you're gonna step here behind it. You're gonna aim the thumb right at the target. Thrust, downward strike, angular strike, horizontal, and then either change your hands like this or walk your hands like this, or if you want to do that, oh, took my hand off. You want to snap it back into the other hand, put it left hand, 1, 2, and I like you to bring it back to the shoulder so you can get that full range of motion and you keep it tight. If you're fighting, obviously, when you're fighting for self-defense, you don't have to bring it here. It's got to be fast. Boom, just real quick. Smashing, smash, smash, right? And then get it in the other hand from here. Thrust, down, across, straight down, change the hand position. From here, thrust, down, across, straight down, change the hand position. Thrust, down, cross, straight down, walk the hands to the other position. And remember, you can do any one that you want as long as you try to keep your hands on your bow. Now I want to show you blocks, basic blocks, because when we talk about bow staff self-defense, when you're doing bow staff training for beginners, almost everybody says, how do I do the blocks? What are the blocks that are appropriate? I want to show you that as long as your hands are on it and you're holding firm, you can push straight up, you can push straight down. You see there's a bit of an angle, up and away, down and away, across from here to here. Then make it simple. If you made yourself a big circle, you cut that in the middle. Everything from about your nipple line and up, that's a high block. Everything from that nipple line and down, that's the low block. Now you can do these sweeping blocks up and across the body. I'm not gonna get into that much. Just block up, block down. If the strike's coming like this from the side, push it up. If the strike's coming straight into your face, push it up. If it's a big haymaker punch, push it straight up. It works every single time. Everything down. They're trying to punch you in the stomach, kick you in the gut, stab you with a knife, grab your body, and then let's talk about the bonus. The bonus is what happens when they grab your bow. Because everybody says, what happens if they hold it? Now you're wrestling for it and they're stronger than you are. You're gonna do one simple thing, and that's spin. Spin, doesn't matter which way. If my hands are here and all of a sudden I spin, see how that compromises the grip? Once you spin, push. Spin, push. You only have to go about halfway, like 90 degrees. That would be 90 degrees, right? If we made it like that, 90 degrees, smash on top of their head. If they're holding with two hands, 90 degrees, smash on their head. And I wish I had somebody to show you, but we practice this in person all the time. It definitely works. Whether they're holding like this or like this, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Comes like this, smash, spin, strike, spin, push, straight down. And then if they're holding with one hand, it's even easier. It's great. If they're holding your staff, you know where their hands are. Now, if you're trying to spin and you can't, then pull it a little bit, right? You pull it to you, they're gonna naturally pull it back. When they do, now their energy is going away from you, but in a straight line. At that moment, that's when you spin and then down, because their energy is coming here. They're not expecting this and they can't stop that. Their brain won't be fast enough. So you're gonna trick them, right? It's kind of like what just happened in Israel. There's a big confrontation going on right there. A lot of horrible stuff happening. It happens every so many years, it seems, as long as I've been alive. But it looks like this time the people on the one side had a little bit of a trick. That happens. You read Sun Tzu's Book of War, right? Or Musashi's 5 Rings. It's strategy. This is your strategy. When they're pulling at you, you're gonna push to them. When you go into them, turn, because they're not gonna expect it. Bam, straight down, smashing the head. Use your smarts. Don't try to out-muscle somebody who's bigger. Use your brain. You're smarter than they are. Why would they be attacking you if they weren't? So you're just boom, boom, straight down, boom, boom, straight down. Work on those basic techniques, right? Get behind it. In the back, if you have it in the backhand, do the same thing. Thrust, angle, across, down on top of the head, switch to the other side in the backhand, lift, thrust, angle, horizontal, vertical. Put those in combination. That is by no means an exhaustive list of all the bow staff strikes you can do when you're learning bow staff for beginners and you want to know how to use the bow staff for self-defense. But that's a good start. And by the way, I'll just throw this at the end because it doesn't really matter that much, but bow staff means staff. Bow is the Okinawan or Japanese, whichever version you want to think, word for bow or for staff, long martial arts staff. So it's really repetitive for like this percentage of the people in the world that hear it, and that'll drive them nuts. You can't say bow staff, it means staff. I just did. I just said bow staff and I said it a bunch. And I'm not doing it just because I don't really care about you. If you don't like me, that's fine. That's good. We don't have to like each other. That's human nature. That's liberating too. Learn how to say, you don't have to like me, but we can be kind, polite, respectful, honest. We can work with each other, right? Get along together, make a good society. Let's live together. You don't have to like me, but you can't tease me. You don't have to like me, but you can't touch me. You don't have to like me, you can't harm me in all these different ways that people harm each other these days. You don't have to like somebody else, but you can treat them with respect, kindness, honesty, discipline, hard work, all the things that you have control over. Don't try to like everybody and don't want everybody to like you. And if you don't like me saying bow staff, well, that's just too bad. I'm gonna say it again and again, and not because of you. Yeah, the internet, everybody, exactly. The basement keyboard warrior sitting there, that TV show, Family Guy, not Family Guy, one of those cartoons. I like you, Peter, too. they had that episode, all the, they sit in the basement, they're playing on the games, they're saying mean and nasty things online, just picking on people. People who have time to do that don't have enough, they have too much time on their hands, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. BOW. Rain says Bo can mean different things. So I don't know how I've got off this tangent. I just wanted to throw that in there. I don't know why. But in case anybody ever says to you, you can't say Bo staff because it means staff. Just say, okay, thank you. I didn't know that. Or I knew that. I just forgot. Thanks. And then keep calling it whatever you want it. You can call it Dougie. You can call it, I'll call this one Big Joe Dane. Bam! And then smash for self-defense. So thank you, Wilson. You're a good man. And I appreciate you too. I will see you guys in just a little bit. Hopefully we're going to get another one of these done today. I want to go over the walking cane, but I also want to do a little bit of a different weapon. I've been working with the tonfa, getting ready with again. So pretty soon we're going to do a tonfa video either today or sometime this week. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you.